Whoever you are, wherever you are watching this from, whatever you have been through to get to this moment, this message found you. And that is not an accident. Welcome. What comes next is yours. I want to say something to you right at the start, something that I feel with complete certainty, something that I need you to receive before we go any further. You have not been spoiled. Not in this last chapter. Not in the season you have just come through. You have not been handed things easily. You have not been surrounded by abundance without effort. You have not been the person who life treated gently and generously without asking for something in return. You have been the person who worked for it, who waited for it, who kept faith in it when the evidence was thin and the season was long and the return on everything you put in was not yet visible. That season is ending. Whew. A new era is beginning for you. And I want to be specific about what that means, because era is a large word and I am using it with intention. Not a new week, not a new month, not a temporary improvement that fades back into familiar difficulty. A new era, a shift in the fundamental texture of your life, a change in what is normal for you, in what you can expect, in what flows toward you with ease, in how supported you feel by life, by the people in it, by the circumstances that surround you. The era of struggling without recognition is behind you. The era of giving without receiving is behind you. The era of waiting for the thing that kept not arriving is behind you. What is ahead is different, fundamentally, in ways you are about to feel in every area of your life. And I want to speak to what that shift actually feels like from the inside, because I do not want you to miss it. When it begins, because new eras do not always announce themselves with dramatic fanfare. Sometimes they begin quietly with a single thing that is slightly easier than it used to be. A single thing that flows where before it was blocked. A single conversation that opens something that has been closed. Pay attention to the small things in the coming days, because the new era may introduce itself softly before it arrives fully, and those small introductions are worth noticing, worth receiving, worth acknowledging as the beginning of something real, because it is the right word. And I want you to let yourself feel what it means. Spoiled in the best sense, the sense that means treated with such abundance and care and generosity that you almost do not know what to do with it, that you have to expand to receive it all, that your understanding of what is normal has to grow to accommodate what is arriving. Not pampered into weakness, not given so much that you stop appreciating, but surrounded by so much that is good and right and aligned with who you are and what you deserve. That the old version of normal, the version with the tightness and the scarcity and the working for things that never quite arrived, becomes a distant memory. That is what spoiled means in this context. And that is what is coming. Let me tell you what spoiled looks like in practice in the specific areas of your life, because I want you to be able to recognize it when it arrives in each of its forms. In your material world, spoiled means resources that flow with an ease you have not felt before, opportunities that arrive without the desperate reaching, without the calculation of whether you can afford to say yes, a financial reality that matches what you bring, rather than falling short of it, the ability to give from overflow, rather than from what little remains. After everything else has been covered in your relational world, spoiled means people who show up for you the way you have always shown up for others, who notice what you need before you have to ask, who choose you deliberately, consistently, with the same energy you have brought to the people you love, without requiring you to fight for the space you deserve. In your internal world, spoiled means ease, the particular ease of someone whose outer life has begun to match their inner vision, who no longer has to spend enormous energy managing the gap between who they are and what their circumstances reflect back, who can finally exhale into a life that fits. All of this is what is forming in the new era that is beginning. I want to speak to something that might make this hard to receive, because I know it is there. For most people who have been in a long season of difficulty, a quiet belief that they do not deserve ease. Not a conscious belief, not something you would say out loud if asked, but something that lives underneath, that has been shaped by the experience of things being hard, that has started to conclude without permission. That hard is simply how things are. For someone like you, that ease is for other people. That abundance flows to others, and you get by. That belief is not the truth. It is the residue of a difficult season. That has been long enough to start feeling permanent, when it was never permanent. It was always a season, and seasons end. Ease is not for other people. It is for you. In this new era, it belongs to you as much as to anyone. I want to tell you something about who finds you in this new era, because the new era does not only bring material shift, it brings people who are aligned with the version of you that this season has built, the version that has been refined, that has learned what matters and what does not, that has a clarity about love and connection that only comes from having gone without them in their full form for long enough to know exactly what they feel like. When they finally arrive, the people of this new era are not casual, are not halfway, are not the kind who take without giving, or who make you feel lucky for scraps of their attention. They are the kind who spoil you with their presence, their consistency, their genuine investment in you, their willingness to show up, even when showing up requires something of them. You are going to be surrounded by people who choose you fully, without reservation, and who feel lucky to do so. And I want to say something specific about what being chosen in this new era feels like, because it will be different from what you have experienced before. And I want you to recognize it. Rather than dismiss it as too good, or look for the catch, or wait for it to prove itself to be something lesser. Being chosen in this new era will feel easy, not in a boring way, in the way that things feel easy when they fit correctly, when they belong together, when the effort is not exhausting because it is effort in the right direction, toward the right people, in the right circumstances. You will not have to fight for your place. You will not have to convince anyone of your worth. You will not have to make yourself smaller or larger or different from what you are to receive what is coming. You will simply have to be there, present, open, yourself, and the new era will do the rest. Between the old era and the new one, because transitions require something of you. They require you to let go. Not of everything, not of who you are, but of the old story, the one that says, this is just how it is for me, the one that has made peace with less than you deserve, the one that has adapted so thoroughly to difficulty that it has forgotten what the alternative feels like. Let that story go. Not all at once, not in a dramatic release, but gradually, day by day, as the new era makes itself visible, as the evidence accumulates that something has shifted, that what was normal is no longer normal, that what is arriving is not what you have been accustomed to. It is better. Let the better be true, without immediately finding reasons to distrust it. Whoever you are, whatever you have been through, however long this last chapter has felt, you made it to the beginning of something. That is going to treat you differently. That is going to fill the spaces that were empty. That is going to return what was taken, often with interest, in the form of abundance and care and connection. That matches the depth of everything you have been through, everything you survived. You are going to be spoiled heavily in this new era, not as a gift from nowhere, as a return on everything you invested in yourself, in others, in the belief that better was possible. Even when the evidence said otherwise, the return is here. The new era has begun. Open your hands and receive it.